we're live. Welcome to Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. I'm Brendan. Tonight we will be painting these lovely Tempestus Scions. So, welcome to Neuro-Heretical. I hope you enjoy it here. Let me know if you have any questions. Also, I need to put up the music because I forgot to put up the music. Give me just a second, guys. Music for something that's calm. That's what we want. Alright. I'm going to mute it on my end so it doesn't double pick up. Alright. Let's get to it. Oh, it's probably announced on the Discord. I'm a professional and know what I'm doing. Very exciting content so far. Alright, got that up. Alright. Let's see. This is kind of the end state we're going for. I'm way zoomed out, so we'll zoom in a little bit. Right in the center of the camera, right about there. Kind of the end state we're going for. These are themed around a Vestroyan Scion regiment. So, expect to see a lot of fur hats. Let's see here. Let's just start doing their hats. I want to get all of those red, and then we'll start on their packs and other colors. Housekeeping real quick. Yeah, okay. Cool. Hey, we got people in the chat. We got people in the chat. We got people in the stream. How's everyone doing today? Also, please let me know if my audio sounds off in any way. I have to get used to that again. I swear, like every week, I have to get reused to painting on stream. Because apparently, this is a very perishable skill. Hindsight, painting a dark color onto a dark color is hard to see at streaming distance. I did not think about that. I'll be 100% honest. Alright, that's on there. This guy can go up next. Oh, should probably say that. The question of the week is favorite snack while gaming. And that can include both wargaming, such as Warhammer 40k, as we do on here at Neuro-Heretical, or video gaming. Really any kind of gaming you're into. And for anyone who's joining us today who doesn't know, this is all being painted, or the selection of today's model was voted by the community. So I get to blame all of you who voted on a deep personal level for my pain, because absolutely none of you chose the chillest option, which would have been a Space Marine jump captain, which I was kind of looking forward to, and you guys spoiled it. I was like, oh yeah, I'll give them a couple options. I'll do like a Space Marine, that'd be cool. We haven't done that on stream. We'll do another vehicle, Space Marine vehicle even. Do a couple Vindicators, that would have been cool. I was like, oh yeah, this all sounds great. And lo and behold, and I was like, oh yeah, I need to get my Scions done, and I need to do my Warp Talons, or Raptors, both really. And I was like, oh yeah, I'll throw that up there. Surely they won't pick that. And then sure enough, you picked the Scions. Which, on the one hand, thank you for not voting for Warp Talons. On the other hand, my hands already hurt. You monsters. But that's okay. I tell myself we will find some kind of joy while painting. This is what I am going to tell myself for the rest of the evening as I paint these. Seems to be doing okay. Hey, nice little number of viewers. Welcome in, everybody. If this is your first stream, welcome to Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. We do a hobby stream like this every single week, as well as regular 40k games every Sunday, and every once in a while we do some other games on Saturdays, including this weekend, where we will be doing a Fallout Wasteland Warfare game for Side Quest Saturday. So please feel free to join us at any of those that sound interesting to you. Alright, I think I got all that. Yeah, painting a dark brown onto black is not the easiest to see, so I do apologize if you guys can't quite see it. And put up the lighting a little bit, I guess. I can probably zoom in a little too. Is that better? That looks a little better. Also, how do I sound in regards to the music? Music too loud? Am I too loud? Am I too quiet? Can you hear me? Please let me know in chat. quiet chat today. Very quiet chat. But, you know, I'm not complaining. It is entirely valid to just sit there and vibe. Were those cheese crackers? I thought we had the ones he gave me were the peanut butter ones. I thought those are the ones I had. He might have had two different ones. Those were much needed though. That was a very long stream under, like, actively streaming. All right, I think all these guys got brown on their heads now. At least I'm pretty sure. All right, at some point I have to try and tackle the trim, and I don't know when that's going to be. I don't particularly want to do it. All right, let's see here. What should we tackle next? Definitely need to work on their pants. So I think we'll do that because some guys need another layer and other guys need a first layer actually. So let's set them all aside. He needs another layer, he needs that, he needs another layer. He's probably okay, he's okay. He needs a layer. Okay, I didn't really taste the actual, like, cheesy part of them. I pretty much just tasted the peanut butter. Apparently my body was just craving that particular spot, or that particular stoop. Okay, they've all got that. Okay, there's really just these guys that need that initial layer, pretty much. And for anyone that doesn't know, who happens to be new here, finds the stream for the first time, what Tristan is referring to is our most recent stream this last Sunday, where he guest starred for the first time, which was the first for our channel, and we did GSC versus Imperial Guard. And really, I think Tristan would agree with me when I say, really, the Imperial Guard won. As he said, his guys were totally Imperial Guard, so really, the Imperial Guard won the day. That's just facts. I don't get to control that. I'm not just saying that. That's just simple facts. Why is the music not playing? Ah, where did my stream go? Delightful. Why is it not going? Oh, it's because I did that. Because I did that. Maybe. No, it's just not playing. Why is my music not playing? That's going. Oh, now it just went down. Wait, my button. There we go. Okay. See, exactly. That's what all the records say. And there's no one who will dare say otherwise. Spoiler for anyone that hadn't seen the video yet, but as you can clearly see, it says Astra Militarum on there, and I was the one playing Astra Militarum, and if Guard won, that means I won. So there is no one who will say otherwise, not nary a word shall be said. I mean, there was a Jane Stealer that got captured by the Inquisition, but that's besides the point. That's besides the point. Keep half an eye on the music. It seemed to have stopped before. So if music stops, please let me know. Doesn't matter if the Inquisitor makes it out. the Inquisitor had already gotten their bag. So, really, again, as I previously said, the Imperium won the day. I don't want to put our stuff there. I don't know. These minis are very small. I'll freely admit, and I don't love them. I'm not in love with these minis. That and painting them or priming them black was absolutely a mistake. But we are very much committed at this point. I'm not going back and repainting them or stripping them just so I can repaint them more accurately. Double check. I haven't painted these guys in a while. I believe so. There. Set him over there to dry. Start on the next guy. Just keep on going. Music's okay. I think the music fixed itself. I don't know why it stopped previously. Like I said, if it does stop again, please let me know and I'll have to fix it. I feel like Scions are kind of at that scale where they're kind of pushing the amount of details they can put into them for how big they are. Because it's kind of just like, man, there's a lot of details for a very small dude. For those that don't know, Scions are still of the older guard scale. Well, most Scions, the Aquilons are not. So they tend to be a bit kind of like short and a bit kind of stumpy. And I do think that makes them a little bit harder to paint because of it. Just because you have a lot of these like lot of little details in a very small space that makes it difficult to get every spot. And to be somewhat fair to the model, I absolutely painted these guys with a not good primer, or I primed these guys with a non-ideal primer. Right? The primer itself is fine, right? Chaos Black had never failed me as a primer. However, it makes a lot of little details like this kind of hard to see, especially now where I'm painting relatively far back due to the camera setup, and it throws me off. Hey, welcome everybody. Come on in, have a seat, hang out with us. We're doing some painting. I don't know if I intended to do his hand as white, but I think a white glove kind of fits. So I am going to paint that as if that was the intent. And that's just what their clothes are going to be now. I say, knowing full well, I will have to go back and repaint everybody else's hands, but that is a future me problem. Today, me is just going to find joy in doing this painting. I will not be negative. I tell myself repeatedly to not be as I start to be negative. Side note, what's everybody working on today? You know, the whole point of these hobby streams is not just to do this by ourselves, but to do it with a friend. So while hobbying can be quite rewarding in and of itself, it is also a very quiet and lonely sort of deal. So having all you lovely people absolutely helps. Let's do this entire arm, at the very least, so I can see what I'm looking at. Actually, it's not trim. I'm gonna do the trim separately. Okay. Giant range. Is that the one you posted in the thing? If so, that looked really good. That looked really cool. Oh yeah, for everyone that doesn't know, we have a Discord, as it says in the bottom. If you want to see more of us and more of this, check out our Discord. I know Tristan posted his giant model in there recently, so be sure to check that out. And for anyone that doesn't already know, every Sunday we do a miniature of the week. We try and do an army, but hey, minis work too. And if you post in our Discord, specifically in our Army Show-Off channel, you have a chance of being the mini of the week. You know what? Let me double check to make sure that's in there. Oh no, it's not. I lied. Give me a second. Oh no. I hope you're entertained. Go live. Last week, details. And if you are enjoying this content, do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. You will get more of this. As we say here in Neuro-Heretical Wargaming, the stupidity isn't a bug. It's a feature. Alright. Alright, now there should be a link in the description. If there's not, hey, look, man, I tried. Alright. If there's not, let me know and I'll post it in the chat. Alright, now we're just going to go through, do a couple extra layers on some of these guys that kind of need it. And then the ones that don't, we will go ahead and start trying to, what you call it, we will start putting on the actual next layer paint, which should give them more of a white look, as opposed to this grayish beige. Many of us here at Neuro-Heretical Wargaming are in fact millennials, but we are not the biggest fans of millennial beige. We understand the complaints, and we are 100% with you there. I promise you that. Also, I will apologize. I am 100% gonna go on tangents. That's just the nature of these streams. So if that tries you up an absolute wall, sorry. If you ask me any question in chat, it will redirect me for at least a while. I can promise you that much. Alright. Do his gun next. This guy in particular, I'm not entirely sure what colors I want to do for absolutely everything, because I kind of want, because this is the medic, so I want to leave his medical stuff a bit more a different shade than his actual like pants are going to be, just help him stand out a little bit. But white is a fickle thing, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, you go chill over there with those guys, and paint you. So the rest of these guys are going to get a layer of wraithbone. Oh, I should have said so. My first layer that I have been doing right now has been Rakarth flesh. The next layer, you can kind of read it, will be wraithbone. Can I put that over there? That'll make it better or worse? That just made it a lot worse. Okay, we'll do wraithbone next. Oh, wraithbone, you terrible, terrible paint. I did not get a thing. Oh well, it'll be okay. Ah, the music stopped again. Because I turned off that page? That might be right. Okay. Note to self, do not leave the audio library page. The music will stop. And everyone will leave. Oh, white paints, why must you be so fickle? So fickle and so thin. I say knowing full well that painting a white over a black base is just asking for trouble. Alright. Unsurprisingly, sorry, too low. Unsurprisingly, putting down Rakarth flesh over the black first makes wraithbone go on much better the first time. Like I said, not remotely surprised. Not surprised, but you love to see it. Important thing to remember is that even if you make some slight mistakes, It's okay. Always fix it with the next layer. That's just kind of how it goes. It's just a series of back and forth and slowly making it better. Alright. There. You definitely need another layer. Is it going? Yep. Good, 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 good. Yeah, over here. That's not right there. Especially with minis like these where it's like, oh, there's so many little like angles and random little spots. You kind of just gotta rotate them and work them over. And except that sometimes you're just gonna be able to not reach a spot, or it's gonna take a few tries. There it is. Sleep sack looks pretty good. Ooh, dropped him. He's got up here. Seems like it's gonna be a nice, quiet Wednesday. Which I'm kind of okay with. It's been a bit of a week. Well, that's not too bad of a week, but it just feels busy. Like I don't think I've actually been that busy, but it just feels super busy. A nice little quiet painting stream actually is kind of money right now. It's actually pretty good. Which makes sense, it's the test dummy. Let's white those out actually. Originally I was gonna leave them black, but I'm not feeling that right now. Not feeling that anymore, I should say. Layers. Try and cover some spots that seem like they're showing through a little bit. Alright, set that over there. This guy is up next. Good old batch painting. The only way to get through an Imperial Guard list, unfortunately. Whew. Alright, music seems to be going alright. What I really gotta do is try and make something of a custom playlist, which I guess I could do. I could sit down and kind of go through all the music. Which I guess would be the smart thing to do, but this is Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. Smart is merely a suggestion for us. So if you guys notice that these minis are poorly put together, I'm sorry. Alright, I didn't assemble them. I'll own up to the paint job, but I did not assemble them, and I am moderately annoyed by how the person who originally built them put them together almost every time. Every time I fuss with them. Which, mind you, that could be said for a good chunk of my guard that I got, but the Scions are especially bad. Scions, and there's some of the resin Kriegers I have. They're just like, how? How did you? Why? Why did you do it this way? Hoping. Well, that was weird. Had my phone go off, but it was like right next to my ear when it did. I was like, whoa. Not used to hearing it that close. That was weird. Especially like the vibrate. My ear was just like, ah, bees. The bees. What time is it? It's already been a good 45 minutes. It's actually kind of insane to me how quickly these streams go by. By these streams, I mean the hobby streams. The big streams on Sundays seem to go about as long as I would expect them to. Or they feel about as long as I would expect them to. These streams, however, always seem to go by really fast. Which is kind of crazy. They're a good 2.5 hours on average, probably. Oh, Tristan, actually, I was going to tell you. The live stream from this Sunday is now actually our most successful live stream outside of the one Death Guard versus World Eaters one that like blew up. Yeah, the one from this weekend is currently our most successful live stream. Ooh. I don't know why, but I am just really hitting that bar today. Just absolutely nailing it every time. Ah. Oh, also, Tristan, I owe you a bit of a thank you because Scott told me how you recruited a new watcher of the channel even after the stream was no longer ongoing, which is really impressive. I don't think Scott mentioned a name for that person, but if you're watching, welcome to the channel. I didn't say that, Tristan. I didn't. Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We still have some stuff to work out, but you know, maybe. I'm not going to extend an open invitation, but you know, I'm not gonna shoot you down. Vaguely curious if when my phone goes off, if you can see it on screen. I don't look when it happens, so I don't know if it like shakes at all. If it did, I would find that moderately hilarious. I love painting guard, I love painting guard, I love painting guard is what I tell myself to keep painting guard. I never get annoyed at the very, very small bodies on them. Nope, nope, nope. Never annoys me. That's for sure. I think it might also be time for new brushes. It's time for a new lot of things, but those all cost money, and here at Neuro-Heretical Wargaming, we aren't making a dime. And again, technically write it off, I use it on the channel, so hey, small benefits. I will say this. I give the guy who made this a lot of crap a lot of time because his building is bad. But he stuck so many grenades onto this guy. You can't really see him on the screen, but like right there, and then on this shoulder pad as well. And I love how it looks, but also he magnetized it, which makes this one a lot easier to paint. Also, it's the only one he magnetized. I don't know why. I can only assume he did it to this guy and was like, nope, don't like that, and gave up. But yeah, his arms pop off. He's got little magnets in there. You can just barely see him, I think. Right there and right there. It also means some parts aren't painted and unprimed, but we're not going to worry about that. We're going to use our suspension of disbelief and ignore it. Also say some people voted on the thing and then didn't show up for the stream, and I just want you all to know that I know that you're not here, that I am suffering in vain, and I will remember this. I will remember this. Every time. Right, so there. Then these arms can go ahead and go next. And like I said, makes it a lot easier to paint. I'll give them that. I don't think that was the intent. Well, I guess it could have been, but and then his arms can go right back on. Ta-da! Like nothing ever happened. Alright, you need another layer. I'm actually getting through a good chunk of these guys. I think after we finish this guy, I'm going to go through and start doing the first layer of the metallic paints. Metallics tend to go on really well, that first layer, but they can also be kind of like white like this is, where you can see a little bit better on this, how it bleeds through and you can't quite, like the cover isn't as good as you would want. And metallics can kind of do that too. So kind of want to do that to hide a little bit of that, or do a couple layers to hide a little bit of that. Though also, I do like seeing, or I like going step by step, even if the previous step isn't necessarily 100% complete, because it just gives you a sense of like progress that you might not have if you're just doing layer after layer after layer on the same thing over and over again. Also, welcome everyone to it. Looks like we got a couple more people in. Don't know if you're new. Don't know if you've been here before. Most of you do not say anything, which of course is fine. We appreciate the strong, silent type here on Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. Might need to actually add more paint. This is a very quick and dirty layer. Yeah, I'm gonna add a little bit more. I'd also take a smidge of a break here in a second to get me some water, because my mouth is very dry and I am very thirsty. I say, knowing full well, if my wife is watching, I am going to get a text message about here approximately 10 seconds after this goes out. I know that woman, and she never misses a chance. I think I'm going to zoom out for a little bit. Oh, itchy leg. Alright. This guy's got a decent amount down on top of theirs. We're gonna go over to his pants. This is, in fact, the other side of wargaming. You don't always get to see. Or any miniatures start seeing table. Okay, that's not true. I will play with unpainted miniatures. And there's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with unpainted miniatures. Or playing with unpainted miniatures. I know that a lot of people get really gatekeepy about that. And it drives me up a wall. Because, like, man, I just built this cool model, often in no small part because I thought I did something really cool in game. I'm going to run it in game. I do not care if it's not fully painted or if it's even got a primer on it. I still want to run it. And if you got a problem with that, like, why? Who cares? It's not your stuff. And it's like, worst case scenario, I'm not, like, usually if I'm doing that, I'm playing with friends anyway. So who cares? Like, it's not like I'm rolling up to the store with a completely gray plastic army. And even if I did, that's okay. Like, again, it's not your stuff. If people want to play with unpainted minis, go for it. Oh, I didn't paint this guy's hat. Set that over there. But people get really, really, like, gatekeepy about that. And it's just like, why, man? Just why? Like, what? It doesn't affect you in any meaningful fashion. And it drives me up an absolute wall. I hate when people gatekeep literal games. At the end of the day, we literally play with plastic toy soldiers. Like, our hobby is not sophisticated. I'm sure many of us did the exact same thing with Green Army Men as children. Which, actually, speaking of which, total side note, one of my famous tangents that you're gonna have to get used to here. I used to love those games. Does anyone else remember those games? The Green Army Men? That's literally what it was called. They were crazy. I was like, I remember playing it. That was one of them was like a third-person shooter. The one I played, I think, the most was the RTS one. I think that was on my PlayStation, or PlayStation 2, I should say. Because I'm old enough where the original PlayStation was theoretically an option. Actually, I say theoretically option. I technically owned one at one point. Hey, United Wargamer! The man, the myth, the legend that helps make every stream possible with his program that we use to keep track and update our scores. Works very well, by the way. I vaguely remember the helicopter one. I don't know if I ever played it or not. I do remember renting a lot of them. I might have done it at one point or another. Yeah, we are, but to answer your question real quick, Wargamer, we are painting Tempestus Scions, specifically a Vestroyan regiment of Scions. Ooh, so fancy, so cool. Alright, did you... Banner guy, who I am particularly proud of. Did a lot of dry brushing on him. He will get some more work as time goes on. Yeah, today we are painting Tempestus Scions. We are discussing favorite snacks while gaming. Oh, using it at a tournament. Nice. I hope it goes well. What are you taking to the tournament? I do have to ask, because I'm technically something of a competitive player, though I haven't been to a tournament. I don't think I've been to one this year, actually, which is kind of unfortunate, but that's just how life is sometimes. My current job is a little more, shall we say, hectic with its scheduling, so I often find myself working on the days we would normally have tournaments, and neither my boss nor our tournament organizer schedules far enough in advance. For me to get time off for the other. Alright. cylinder bits here. Alright, good enough. Set that over there. The commander, I don't know what he's called. Ooh, Blood Angels. I can respect Blood Angels. I am a Black Templar player, but I can respect Blood Angels. I actually should probably give Blood Angels rules a whirl, since I technically can. I just won't be able to run my Black Templar units. I can't remember if you mentioned that you played Blood Angels before or not. Been a minute, and my memory sucks, but I do enjoy me some Blood Angels. Bit of a shame about some of their releases, though. I personally didn't think. I think overall the release was actually pretty good. I understand why some people would be kind of not happy with it, or aspects of it, I should say. But overall, I thought it was good. The Death Company, that was the big oof. Give this guy's hat a quick. Fair. I don't think I've seen you really demo the app. I can say I'm positive I haven't seen it too. That's always been Scott's purview. I show up and press buttons when he tells me to. I'm good at that. I can do that really well. Yeah, I like Blood Angels. There's probably a universe out there where I picked Blood Angels instead of Black Templars, but I'm mostly happy with the universe I'm in. Alright. Okay, now that all their hats are done, except for Colors guy, but I'm kind of waiting on him a little bit. Mostly because I want to work on the flag and stuff. Real quick, I'm gonna run and get a drink of water, because I'm thirsty, so I'll be right back. Oh no. That's not gonna work the way I want it to. And I am back, everyone. Worry not, I have returned. Hello. Alright. Is it time to work on trim? Probably. Do I want to? No. I don't know why I did this to myself. I have two of these. I do have two of these. Do this one first. Hello. Real quick, I'm gonna try and pull this out. That didn't work. Alright, I'm not gonna worry about that because I want to make a bigger mess doing that than if I just let it be. Alright. Time for my favorite part. Where's the guy that's mostly painted? Is it you? No, I think it's you. No. It was one of the guys with the sword. No, there you are. I think this is the right color. It's been a minute since I've actually worked on these guys. This next one is going to be Balthazar Gold, which is really more of a kind of a, I would call it closer to a bronze, but what do I know? But this is going to be kind of all their armor bits. You can see on this guy, it's kind of the back part through here, then on his knee pads, and really just kind of all these metal bits. So this is one of the things that is unfortunately going to take a while, especially with these, because they have a lot of trim. And unfortunately for me, this is before I learned that the secret to trim is to just do it as your base color. Actually, I guess strictly speaking, that's not true. I learned that. I want to zoom in. That's the only way you're going to see this. I learned a better way to do trim with my Night Lords, and then proceeded to kind of ignore it when doing these guys. So I'm not entirely sure how happy I am with this color scheme, to be perfectly honest. Ooh. I need to put something down so I can remember where the center is. Because really, I kind of feel like what I should have done was like do all this in bronze and then do like kind of the rest of them in red. But I'm kind of committed now. I've gone pretty far in the painting process for all of these dudes. Then I guess theoretically in the future I could always redo them. That's entirely possible. But yeah, as I say it, that's honestly probably part of the reason why I haven't put a whole lot of work into these guys since I got them, is that I was like, that I wasn't super happy with the color scheme. I say as I'm kind of committing to it. Okay, so not a little bit, we're a little too in the weeds there, I think. That's kind of the thing, isn't it? Right? It's like, man, if I don't like the color scheme, that's gonna diminish my enjoyment of like actually painting them. And especially with something like Imperial Guard, where there's like just any like army, even if a small 500-point army, just has so much. There's just so much to it. Like, it's a lot of dudes. So if you don't like it, you're kind of in trouble. Because you're going to have to do a lot of them. Also, I don't know if my wife is watching, but I'm sorry, the dogs are barking. I don't know what they're barking at, but I keep getting alerts saying they're barking. I deeply apologize. That's kind of unfortunate. Let's just kind of go a little bit heavier on the bronze. I feel like I haven't been super heavy on it, and that maybe that's just what I need, is I need that bit more color on them. Maybe. That's kind of thing. It's like I want these guys to be recognizably Vestorian, right? Like, I want someone to, when they see them on the table, they're like, oh, those are Vestorian. And it's like, oh yeah. Ah yes, a man of culture. And some of this may also just come out in the wash. I'm not 100% on that yet. Alright. Do his antenna in bronze too? Yeah, I'll do his antenna in bronze. I do like using this bronze form though, because I think that does give it the kind of ancient, not ancient, I think it's technically ancient. It's like 2,000 years old, and that's older than what we consider ancient. But I think it gives an older vibe, right? It gives that, I almost want to call it a Bronze Age vibe. I don't know if that's necessarily the way I would want to put that, but it makes the technology feel older. Which, for those that don't know, makes a lot of sense for Vestroia. because the Bestorians are one of the few regiments that still use like Horus Heresy era equipment. Sorry, the music stops for a second. I want to check something. I like to look at various pieces of artwork while I'm painting. Kind of helps guide, like, okay, what colors do I want everything to be? Which, now I'm looking at it, yeah, I definitely want to do... I was waiting if I want to do their helmets as bronze, and I think that is the move. Or not their helmets, but their, like, face masks. I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I think part of it is I just really want these faces to pop a bit, or these minis to pop just a little bit more. So I feel like they're very bland with the current colors. So what I might actually do is I think the move might be to do Mephisto in red over the corn red I've got here. Just because that will help make the mini actually pop. And I think that's kind of the problem. A lot of these minis are very bland. You don't got a gas mouth on, so we won't worry about that. Should we gas mouth? You. If I may ask you now, Wargamers, since you're here, and I feel like I don't actually talk to you that much, what kind of lists are you actually running for your VA? I'm very curious to see how you play them. I know the kind of standard, okay, maybe not the standard, I don't know what the actual like competitive list is, but like the kind of classic way to play them is like jump pack, highly mobile melee infantry. And that tends to be relatively different from how Black Templars are played. We tend to be a bit slower because we have access to more, whatchamacallit, like fuel no paints and stuff. We tend to play a bit more like, I don't want to call it rough, but like a bit more leaning into like durability with our melee threats. I say that, but actually my sword brethren tend to be very glass cannony, so that's not entirely true, but these sort of things tend to be fairly relative. Oh, with oils. I've seen a lot of people start trying oils, Tristan, so I am curious to see. I do definitely want to see those in the Discord, so I'm curious to see how that turns out. I feel like oils are kind of, I've heard they're kind of difficult to work with as far as miniature painting goes, so I'm curious to see how they turn out for you. I think that's what I've heard. It's been a minute. I've seen some like channels use them on YouTube and stuff, but I don't think I've ever actually talked to anyone that's used them. Assuming you haven't used them before, which is entirely possible. Dimmed there for a second. Caught it just in time. Oh no, this guy isn't actually. I don't have to wait down. Probably could have waited a little bit, but that's okay. I dimmed that, so I'm using less battery. Okay. Yeah, like I said, let me know how it goes. I am genuinely curious to see how it turns out for you. What are the actual advantages in oils? I really haven't looked into them. I'm generally not very experimental, right? Like, broadly speaking. Like, I'll experiment with new, like, techniques for stuff I'm painting and, like, to, like, try out. But I'm not generally that experimental when it comes to, like, oh, you should try these paints. Like, as you guys may have noticed, I tend to be very straightforward when it comes to, like, my paint. Like, I pretty much just use Citadel. I do have some Vallejo paints that I do like to use, but I will admit they moderately annoy me every once in a while. I have no problem with Vallejo, it's just, damn, I didn't even do his trim. Okay, so translucent, they dry very slowly. Dogs are barking. And you can move strategically after they're on to get details to pop. I think I've seen people do that. I think a fairly popular one, I think it's called streaking grime. I think that's an oil paint. Where people put it on, they'll put minerals on to like wipe a good chunk of it off, and it kind of acts like a shade or whatever and settles into the recesses, I'm pretty sure. I don't know that 100%. Okay, it's starting to look a little bit better. I'm digging it. I'm digging it a little bit. Not sure I love it, but I dig it. I'll definitely have to go over this a couple times to get the trim just the right color, but I think that much is to kind of be expected with these. And I'm seeing it, like as the light hits it, I kind of like it. I do think going over with a brighter red might be better. Okay. Okay, so the streaking grime is more of an enamel, which I think I've actually technically worked with enamel paints now. I think, God, I don't even know what they're called. There's a specific brand, and I think all their paints are enamel paints, which when I was the very first kind of getting started with miniature painting, it was doing like cars and airplanes and stuff, but I was like maybe 8 or 9 at the oldest, and 1, didn't know what I was doing, and 2, just I didn't know what I was doing. I absolutely didn't know what I was doing. I know I was doing like directly out of the pot onto the model, which was not a good idea by any stretch of the imagination. And I highly doubt breathing those fumes was good for a developing brain, but I'm not going to unpack that one for a variety of reasons. But I remember having fun with it. And I think I have, yeah, I've got one of the, I still have one of those miniature cars kind of on my hobby desk. And talk about coming far. Chat disconnected. Testers. Yes, that was absolutely it. I know the name now. I can still see the little, like, I guess bottles of it in my brain. Those little like glass things, and they had like a screw top on them essentially. Yeah, I remember those. Oh yeah, you should probably do that, Tristan. That is probably a good idea. I will freely admit. I think on that I used, yeah, okay, little housing. And about to there fold for his camera. I think I'll continue to do that actually. I know there's a mix on here of ones that aren't or not. I know on some of them I've done the corn red, but I'm not sure I'm digging it. Like I said, I'm not entirely sure I'm digging corn red in general, much less for literally any other part of this mini. Okay. So this is a kind of a good example of being like, of seeing that some areas I can't really reach, but also like I can't really see those areas, right? So like behind his gun here, you definitely can't see it, and I can barely see it. But he has more trim off there, obviously. I can't see that. It's not going to be ready visible on tabletop, so I'm not going to worry about it. Because otherwise, it's just going to cause a lot of frustration for very little gain. This guy needs his trim done. I did your helmet, right? Okay, actually, doing the gas mask helped a lot. Much happier with it now. Is it already almost 9 o'clock? That's hard to believe. It was like just a few minutes ago I looked at the time and it was like 8:15. Like, that is honestly kind of crazy. Like I said, these streams in particular just seem to absolutely fly by. I, like, every week I'm like, man, I can't believe it's already over. I mean, hypothetically this week I could actually go a little bit longer, but I did tell my wife I would pick up milkshakes on the way home, so I'm kind of committed in that regard. I am absolutely not getting out of that one, or else she will not be happy with me, and I rather like when she is happy, because it makes me happy. Also, friendly reminder, if you do happen to be joining us for the first time, please, 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 please like, comment, and subscribe. It helps the channel really grow, and it helps you know when we're doing things like this, when we're going live, when we're scheduling our streams. And I would absolutely love to see you guys here again next week. And every week we do this after that. You are always welcome in this hobby stream. All are welcome at all times. Okay, I know I was complaining earlier about people that voted for this, but genuinely, actually, it does help a lot. Like, it really actually has. Like, these guys would have absolutely sat, I essentially have, yeah, it's magnetized on top of the board. Like, these guys have essentially sat on my shelf of shame for a hot minute. And I don't know when, if ever, I was going to actually get to them, because like I said, I wasn't super in love with the paint scheme. And like, you know, I mostly run a Krieg army, so I don't really like play with them much. So there really wasn't an impetus there, because I was going to run them in a tournament. So without this like stream, very silly, without these hobby streams, I would not have busted them out. Like, it's just simple as, right? They would have just sat on my shelf collecting dust. And yeah, like doing stuff like this absolutely helps with, you know, getting hobbying done. Like I said, it's a I think I said earlier, while hobbying is fun and rewarding in and of itself, it is also a very kind of not lonely experience. I wouldn't call myself lonely, but it's very solitary. That's a good word. It's very solitary. So it's very easy to, like, I think at least, to kind of get in your own head and get discouraged and not get stuff done. And that can very easily become self-reinforcing, right? Where it's like, oh man, I didn't get this done, I'm not gonna get it done, blah 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 blah. And next thing you know, you're not even trying to get things done. And I've had that a lot in my hobby experience and other experiences, I'll freely admit. Don't need to paint this part, but I'm just going to because I can. So being able to do these hobby streams, for me personally, means a lot. I'm glad you guys, ones that show up every week, I'm glad you show up every week. The ones that pop your head in, check it out, I'm glad you do. And I would hope you guys would become ones that show up every week. I definitely want to see how you guys paint, like the stuff you're working on, how it comes out. I think that's awesome. I'd love to see more of that. Which, not to push the channel too much, we do have a Discord in, so if you want to, if you feel comfortable showing off your stuff, please feel free to join us in there. We have a growing and very welcoming community. Any questions you have, one of us can probably answer. Like, we've got people that play practically every army at this point. I don't think we're missing any of the major ones and stuff like that. All right. I drink water. Oh no, my on screen. There we go. I've said it before and I'll say it again. I need to put a piece of tape down to remember where, like, the model actually needs to be. You know what? As I say that, I'm pretty sure I have masking tape in a drawer over here. So give me just a second to finish this guy and I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a little self-improvement while I'm doing some painting improvement. brush off for a second. I'm gonna grab that tape. It should be right over here. This isn't necessarily the one I wanted, but it's bright orange, so it will absolutely show up. I will not have any excuse for not being in the right spot now. Let's find the rough center here, right about here-ish. Alright. Put that down, and hey, now I know where to hold the mini. To give you guys the best view of it. Boop. Alright, let's get some more Balthazar gold. While we get that all shaken up and ready, let's see what's going on in the Discord. Yes, that's the mini you're talking about, Tristan. That is, I assume you're using that for D&D. I can't rule out that you're using it for 40k, especially when you play GSC, since Tyranids are always on the table. But that looks really good. I think you had some green stuff on it, right? Did you do some sculpting with it, or were you just filling gaps with that? If you can answer. I know you're often using different stuff, so you're not always in a position to actually answer any questions I have. I'll put down the tape so I remember where to put it. Immediately goes like way off from it. That's okay. I did remember to do it. Okay, just gaps. That's what I thought. I couldn't be entirely sure if you were like that you weren't like kid bashing or anything. It's not a model I'm familiar with, obviously. But it does look really good. Hey, Silver Scratch Build Productions, welcome back. I think I remember you from last week. I'm like 90% sure. Said before, memory not the best, but I'm fairly certain. Glad to have you. Groil Fleshender. Is that the name of the model, or is that like what you're using for it? Using it for in like D&D or Shadow Dark? I'm assuming that's what you're playing. Which reminds me, I don't know if I mentioned it to you, but after our little Shadow Dark session, my wife was starting to actually ask some questions about D&D and just how the game system works, so might throw something together. I think I did mention that, actually. I think I mentioned that before the stream last week. But welcome, 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 everyone. Always nice to see you. Now, a friendly reminder for if we happen to have any Thousand Suns players in chat, we do have our review of Codex Thousand Suns up on the channel. It'll be our first Codex review. We are hoping to do more, but it will be a minute. Well, we are still trying to figure out what our next step is in that regard. So don't look for that necessarily regularly, but we are hoping to do that more often as Codexes are released. Yeah. I really ought to put somewhere on this already very busy screen what the current painting project is. It's actually not a bad idea. I might write that down. But this week we are working on Tempestus Scions. Specifically the normal Scion squad, so it's a bit smaller than the Aquilons. We'll go ahead and show that off right here. Notice this Aquilon is almost as tall as this guy is, with a very big fur hat. To be a little more specific, these are Vestroyan Scions. If you're unfamiliar, Vestroyan is a canon regiment of Imperial Guard. They haven't been super focused lately, just because their models are unfortunately not for sale, but they do show up every once in a while. And they have a pretty decent book. They released it a while ago. I don't even have it on the wall anymore. Is it over there now? Probably. But that do be how it go. Nope. You have a regular face. I think I did that for most of my leaders and my sergeants, so. Paint over there. And I think that's everything I'm doing for you for now. So set you aside. Yeah, these are some Tempestus Ions. They are the elite of the Imperial Guard. Besides the Khazarkan and Grenadiers and Engineers. All the other elites of the Imperial Guard, because this is Warhammer. Gonna go on a bit thick with some metallics. Mostly because metallics are kind of thick just in general, and because they go on really well with one layer, so I kind of feel confident in not necessarily being the thinnest with them, just because they tend to dry very nicely that I like. That's fair. I mean, I'll freely admit, I'm not a huge fan of the Elysian Drop Troop models. I love their lore. I really love their lore. But their models are just... I don't know. I think for me, it's a mix of like the old guard proportions, which these guys are very much guilty of, and their helmet is really bad. Like, I don't know, just the sculpts in general to me aren't very great. They're not bad. I don't like hate them. Don't get me wrong. I don't hate them or anything. They leave something to be desired for me personally. I will say, Scratch built miniature, Scratch Over Productions. I was gonna call you Scratch. Scratch, I don't know if you're in our Discord or not. I think you might have joined it last time. But if you go on there, we got to the end of the music. Start over again. Actually, I'm gonna go to the next page and see if there's any. Make sure there's not any like the attributed copyright. All right, start some new music. Hey, Sheldrake, Matt. As I was saying, I'll call you Silver. Why did I call you Scratch? Silver. Yeah. If you go into our Discord and harass good old Scott, or opponent or trainee, because he's a person. If you go in there and harass him, he actually has some Elysians that he proxies for his what are they called? Vespids for his Tau. And the Vespid datasheet is very solid. I can tell you that for a fact, as I have been smacked around by those Vespids across 2 editions now. But yeah, if you want to see some of those, check him out. Or harass him into showing off his minis. I don't know if he has any actually painted. I say that, but that's his problem, not mine. Alright. Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50 overall, though. I'm kind of 50-50 on the Scions. I don't love them. I mean, I like them because I do like, like space paratroopers and space like elite forces. Like these would probably be equivalent to like Rangers. Are really cool, and I definitely like that. But their models are kind of just okay. And like they kind of run into the elite guard problem where it's like now they're competing a little bit with Space Marines like design wise, and it's like, well, and the Scions more than any other like modern guard model tend to conflict very heavily with like how to put it. Like I don't have like I feel like a thing that the Guard faction is good at. Like one of the things that makes it unique is it's kind of the historical faction, right? It takes more than any other faction, a lot of cues from historical military units, right? And it makes sense, right? They're like the most normal faction. And Space Marines do too, but it's not as baked into them. Like they're just like generic Space Knights, but you're not going to see references to like specific pieces of equipment and stuff like that in the same way you're going to see in the Guard. And Scions don't really have that. They have kind of the paratrooper thing going on, but that's like a side element and more of a lore element than truly part of their like core design. I think that might be, I would probably say that's one of the reasons that Scions tend to bounce for a lot of people. Because you're not the only one. John, who has been on the channel quite often, he also plays Guard, and he does not like Scions. Though, admittedly, I think for him, a good part of it is that when they came about, Kazarkin went away. And my man liked him some Kazarkin. He was very excited when they came back. And that's actually part of how I ended up with these Scions, is that Scott, friend of the channel, or not friend of the channel, who has been on the channel, he ended up with a fairly big lot that he had bought from Jeff, who has also been on the channel. And he ended up with a fairly big Guard lot. I'm not entirely sure why he bought it, but he got it and he really just sat on it for a long time. And he was like, hey, he knew that John and I were playing Guard, or like I was building Guard and he knew John played Guard. So he asked us if we wanted it. So we said yeah, and we went ahead and like literally came over to my place and we split them up on the floor, like very classic toy soldiers. And John was like, yeah, I don't like Scions. So he gave me all the Scions and he took a good chunk of the rest of the armory, mostly I think like a lot of some of the vehicles, stuff like that. I don't remember exactly who got what from that, but I do remember I got all the Scions because I didn't really want them, or no, he didn't really want them. I wanted them because I kind of wanted to do this, and I kind of like the vibe of the destroying Scions. And the more I do this paint scheme, the more I'm digging it. I do think I might. I put so much work into getting like this white and stuff, but I just don't think it works. To be 100% honest, what I might do is replace all the white parts with like Mephiston red or something, which I brought up a few times tonight. I'm going to use Deathcore Krieg miniatures with GSC Hybrid Heads as my Brood Brothers. Very nice. I will say, having built more than my fair share of Deathcore Krieg at this point, do know that the Deathcore models do not have the traditional like head socket, right? So like these guys had, actually here, I can show you this right here. So, yeah, woo, I'm losing my stuff. These guys have this head hole, right? So you can put whatever head you want in there. Like I have any really excited. I said it and now I look dumber than normal. Like you can put kind of whatever head you want, right? So I got these 3 printed heads. They can go in there just fine. It makes it really easy to kit bash them, right? The problem is, Deathcore Krieg does not have this. They have just a flat spot. I'm assuming you haven't built them before. It just has that flat spot. So you'll have to like kind of drill, you can basically drill out a spot for it to go into and you should be okay. That's just something to keep in mind, is that you won't be able to do that right out of the box. They're going to require some modification. Unfortunately, I don't have any headless Krieg at the moment, or else I would show you. It's not readily accessible. I think I have a sprue somewhere, but I don't really want to check it out. Man, I am hungry today. I don't know why. I had eggs this morning, then I had a donut, and I ate it at work, like twice. I ate ate a fair bit of food. I'm just hungry. But all that being said, sorry after that little hungry tangent. If you can pull it off, it will absolutely look good. Like 100%, no doubt in my mind that it would look good. It's going to be a fair bit of work, but if you do decide to go that route, I absolutely want to see them like completed, like full no stop or full stop, no stop, whatever. Like 100%, I want to see them painted. I see now, meats and cheeses. Sorry there, Matt. I saw your message and I kind of got sidetracked. Meats and cheeses are good. Meats and cheeses are a little bit expensive, I'll freely admit. I'm the kind of person that, like, I put the question up, but honestly, I don't buy that many snacks. Just because, here real quick, I don't buy that many snacks because I'm the kind of person that if snacks are around me, I will eat them. Like, I am this sounds a bit weird, but like I am a serious snacker, right? Like if food is just kind of like sitting there, like free to eat, I'm going to sit and eat it, and I don't need to eat that much. Like, that's not good for me. So like I tend to avoid buying snacks, and if I do buy them, they very rarely remain in this house for very long because I will just be like, oh yeah, I want to eat, and I'll snack. Really should have done this trim first. Just done a very messy trim job on all of this, and come back later and cleaned it up and filled it in. But committed now. Remember that for the next one. Okay, well, you know what, Silver? That's fair. That's entirely fair. I just like to make sure people are kind of aware of that because deathcore is a fairly niche isn't the right word, but like niche definitely isn't the right word. Why would I even go to niche? The fact that they don't have that slot is very, very uncommon for guard, at least until recently. I assume it's a bit more common now, obviously, but that's not very normal for guard, and really GW minis at large. So I just like to make sure people know when they're getting into it, because a lot of people come in and try to convert deathcore, and it's entirely doable. And like I said, you're a professional, so I'm sure I have zero doubts that you can handle it. But like some people, newer people try to come in, they're like, oh yeah, I want to do this. And it's like, well, you can. Just know that X, Y, or Z is going to be a bit of a thing. So I don't want them to be caught off guard. Also, side note, talking about the guy that built these, or to bring up the guy that built these, he had them really weird loadouts. I don't know what he was saying. Like, this guy has a big plasma gun and a plasma pistol, and I don't think that was ever a legal loadout. I mean, it looks cool, don't get me wrong, it just makes him awkward to place in a force. Like, what I really gotta do is buy like 2 things of Scions and then go through and build out a proper squad in whatever form that may take. And of course I say that. You can absolutely always run something as something it isn't. But just personally for my own sake, because I know I will get confused, much less my opponent. I try to be as Wazooey as possible, even if that's not like the good thing. Just because if I don't, I know I will forget sometimes, especially with how the current Warhammer app is set up, where it's like when you tap on the datasheet, it basically pulls up the datasheet for all squads. So if you have like 3 different squads with different weapons, it doesn't tell you which squad has which weapons. It just pulls up the profiles for those weapons. Get the water real quick. I will also say, you all can thank your compatriots for voting for these. I put up several options. I put up a Vindicator. I was actually going to do 2 Vindicators. I have a couple of them. Actually, one's mostly done. So one would be cleaning up. The other one would be getting properly painted. But I had I had 2 Vindicators up there. I had a Jump Captain for Black Templars. And my voice just cracked there. That's fascinating at my age. Anyway, I had a Jump Captain for Black Templars up there. I had... those were the easy ones. Then I had Scions, and I had Raptors / Warp Talons for my Night Lords. And something like 57% of the vote went for Scions. So I tried. I really, really tried to not paint these. Which, to be fair, I have been not trying to paint these guys for a long time. So they were definitely past due. Were you one of the ones that voted for the Raptors? Thank you, compatriots. I'll definitely do them at some point. I like them. Depending how far I get with these, I may kind of close out with doing those dry brushes real quick, actually. But no promises. It's already, what, 9:20? Yeah, 9:23 even. MST, so will be a bit too late. I might take those with me when I leave, though, so I can. Actually, I don't know. I think I might take these with me because I've been wanting to paint when I'm not on stream. I will say that's another thing. I went off earlier. I think it was mostly just Tristan and me at that point, but I was very big on. I just 100% lost my train of thought. I was trying to paint this guy, and it just disappeared from my brain. Painting the Raptors was, oh yeah. I joke and complain about having to paint all these, but doing this stream has genuinely helped me get through some of my backlog that's been sitting for a long time. So I mentioned it earlier. I'll go ahead and say it again since more of you are on. Thank you so much for coming in and watching and helping support this, because it genuinely helped me to get back into the painting. I've been painting so much more regularly now than I was before I started doing this stream, that, like I said, it means a lot to me. It really does. And I'm glad that, because even outside of this stream, I've been starting to want to paint more, and it genuinely has helped. And I'm glad you guys helped me with that in a way. With the other Melted Trooper. Yeah, if anyone, I assume we are all safe amongst nerds here. If anyone's not familiar, Shadow Dark is kind of like a streamlined D&D. So if you played that, it's very familiar, but it's actually a pretty fun game. I certainly liked it. Very straightforward. If you played D&D, you're going to be familiar with most of this. When you look at a data sheet, you're going to be familiar with most of it. I will admit, I did not plan my character carefully enough. I also played just like kind of an intentionally bad character, I will freely admit. It was a wizard dwarf, which I was already playing against type, but like my stats were terrible. So he was not even like a good wizard. He was kind of bad at it. But that's also just like one of the ways to have fun with D&D. Actually, a little me lore. If anyone ever doubts my nerdy credentials, I once ran a D&D campaign in Afghanistan. It got a significant chunk through oh shoot, what was it? Curse of Strahd. So absolutely recommend that. As it turns out, when you have a almost literally captive audience who can be there almost every day, it is really easy to run a D&D campaign for the most part. Until you have that one notable player that just like crashes and burns everything and makes everyone not want to play. But turns out, being halfway across the world does not get rid of that player. He will still find a way to exist. Anyway. Ooh, you picked up... Do you have a sister's army, Matt? I kind of am drawing a bit of a blank here. I mean, you picked him up, so you might be starting one. I can't quite remember. Like I said, my memory, not the best sometimes. At least not short term. I've actually been meaning to pick up some sisters. I know Scott has a box of them, because he wants to run them as inquisitorial agents with his custodies, which we haven't had on the channel quite yet, I think. Maybe we did. I don't remember. But anyway, he wants to run with that, and I have been just dying to buy some sisters. Okay, yeah, 4K. That is a sizable chunk of an army. That's at least 2 armies, really. Tristan here also has sisters that I know of. Or I know he has sisters, and his are pretty cool. I do recommend. If he's posted any in the Discord, check them out. But Scott has a box that he has had since the Agents book came out, and he has been sitting on it. And I have been like holding myself back from starting a Sisters Army. So I am this close. Actually, I think I straight up told him last time. I was like, look, if you just don't have the energy or want to paint them right now, just give them to me. I will paint them. I will give them back. Just tell me the loadout, and I will build and paint them, because I would very much like to scratch that particular itch, because it has been moderately annoying me. Not moderately annoying me. That seems more. 4 more emulators. Are you running? Hold on. Or no, an emulator. Oh god, are emulators dedicated transports? I think they are. But see, what you should do is, if they are dedicated transports, right? Run 6 of them and then ally in 2 more from agents. So now you're running 8 of them, assuming that's not what you already have in mind. Which if that is what you have in mind, once again, we are on the same wavelength here. I am moderately concerned that you got that night picture suggested to you a few hours after I did. I don't know if I manifested that for you, but I don't apologize. That's on you. But apparently we have similar enough. I forget. Okay, I told you. My memory sucks. And I think I've told the story of how I got beamed in the head with a rock overseas, and that was merely the latest section of like potential brain injuries I've had. American football, I can blame for at least a good chunk of them. Specifically one incident that I remember very differently than my father, which seems like a good example of potential TBI. or at least a good sign. What do you have? I'm just saying, if you want to run Oops All Emulators, allying 2 of them in is like, would be peak meme. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. And I think it's, if nothing else, I think it has become very clear on this channel that we absolutely support meme lists, alright? I mean, if you go looking back, now that we have Chaos Knights coming out this week, maybe next week, if you go back and watch our night joust between Chaos Knights and Imperial Knights, both our lists run off pure meme energy. So we will always support dumb meme lists on this channel. Do not worry about that. We're, like I said, or like we have said every time on every stream, the stupidity is not a bug. It is in fact a feature. God, I hate trim so much. I'm gonna drink water. Can you run 12? I guess. Oh God. I'd have to look at the rule, and I can't because my camera's my phone is my camera. But can you run 12? So I guess because you can ally in, what is it? 2, like, you can do 2 characters, 2 agents, and then 2 retinue. So I think the sisters, I want to say the sisters are retinue. So you can run 2 of them, and then you can run dedicated transports for each of them. Then you have the, like, everyone else, you know, kind of like the, you know, like the breachers and stuff. Okay, so they can just take inquisitorial agents. Okay, so I wasn't sure if they could take agents or if they could take, what's it called? Or if they could only take, like, Sisters of Battle. But yeah, then you could run 12 of them. Oh God, like, everything about the agents, like, release and subsequent support afterwards kind of just sucks, right? Like, it was not good, they are still not good, and like GW doesn't even seem to care enough to make them decent, right? Like, one of my few, like, full-on gripes with GW is that they won't even, like, try. And, like, I kind of get it because they definitely designed the codex as like a, hey, this is where we're throwing all the kill teams. It's literally codex kill teams, but it's like, man, you couldn't just go through and do some, like, actual points adjustments just to make them a little more viable, or even better, rules changes. No, you can't split the sisters, is true. Well, the problem is, as far as list building goes, don't you have to build, or don't you can only take a dedicated transport, like, free of an not of an org slot, this isn't 30k, but you can only take an extra transport, like, free from the normal restrictions, if you bring the, like, you have to, it's per squad, so you have to bring, like, a squad to bring a emulator, rhino, or whatever, was my understanding. So you would still have to bring 4 units that can ride in them. But I guess if you're bringing inquisitorial agents or, like, sanctifiers or something that can ride in them, you can just split it and put the other ones in them instead. You don't have to put the whatever unit you use to bring them in them, if that makes sense. Me spitballing. I want to get Deathwatch. I really want to get Deathwatch. Deathwatch was probably the other chapter I very well could have ended up playing in, like, an alternate universe, but I decided not to. And I want to get the Deathwatch kill team, and I really want to get their flyer, which I may just get that anyway. But the only problem is they're the old Marines. They are very, very small. So it's like, I just don't like, I mean, I think they're better scaled than, say, like, the Grey Knights, which is another Inquisitor unit that I'm just not going to get because they're small. Hey. I mean, go for it. But yeah, so I really want to get one. I just, in the back of my mind, I can't rule out that they're going to get like a kill team release. And I fully expect them to at some point. Like, I would be shocked if they don't get redone via kill team. But, like I said, I want to get them. I really do. But I can't. Or I can. I just don't. Okay, it's gonna happen. I want to get them, but I also don't want to get them. But I really want to get. I'll probably get, even before I get the actual kill team, I will probably get a Corvus Blackstar, just because that's such a cool model. I absolutely love that model so much, and want to run around. And I like the idea of a Air Assault Deathwatch force hunting, like going through and hunting down the Xenos. It's essentially my cop car times 10. For anyone that has seen the my last 2 streams that I've been on, I know I had my most recent one, obviously, Astro Meltarm versus Gene Stealer Colts with the one and only Tristan, who's in this chat today. And before that, I ran my anti-Xenos cop car with with my Black Templars against Scott when I played against his straight up Tau. I know there's the Primaris upgrade kit. I actually, did I buy it, or did I buy just the shoulder pads? I think I bought the full. Yeah, I bought the falling kit, because I have them sprinkled amongst my Black Templars. The upgrade sprue is nice. It just doesn't have like a lot of the cool weapon options. So like the actual Deathwatch kill team gets a bunch of like specialist weapons. So like one that I like a lot is like the Infernus Heavy Bolter or something like that. And it is straight up just it's a Heavy Bolter with an understrung flamer. I really like that. Ooh, Tristan, the Burnt Umber base looks good, by the way. And then what do Silver Scratch got for us? Hello, Mephisto. Ooh, Deathcore Ogren. Very nice. Respect. I like kind of the blue metallic you got going on there. I think I mentioned it in the last like actual game stream that the traditional color for Krieg is actually blue. I think a lot of people kind of forget that, mostly because other color like green is very popular for him. I'd say doing mine in green as well, so I can't exactly blame anyone for that. Well, except for myself. Those do look good. Man, I'd like and one thing I've unfortunately noticed with the Deathcore fandom is that they do not like it when you run abhumans with Deathcore, and it is annoying. I don't like that. It's weird to me. Like, people get mad about it, like get like, genuinely upset, and it's like, why? Who cares? It's like, it's not like if GW meant for it to be like a restricting thing, they would mention it on the list. See, Space Wolves, you know. But I do like seeing like regimental, like Ogre and stuff that are kind of meant to run with the regiment. You know, at least match the gear. So it doesn't necessarily make sense for me if it's like, oh yeah, this regiment operates in toxic environments, except for the abhumans and these other guys that run with them. They don't wear protection equipment at all. It's like, well, that kind of takes me out of it a little bit. Trim, trim. The bane of my existence. Like I said, I definitely could have handled these guys. Oh, hey, I'm almost done with it. Let's go. No more trim. Oh, I'm gonna zoom out for a second there. Yay, no more trim. Not no more. I got one more dude, but. Drink some water. Alright. Let's get your trim done. I'm gonna work on the flag a little bit. The flag I should probably do gold actually. I was thinking of doing the same as the trim color for like the lions and stuff. But I think I gotta do that Bastroian gold. I think that's the move. Really make the flag pop a little bit versus the rest of the army, you know. You have an actual face, so I'm not gonna do that. Should have colored in their faces when I had whatchamacallit out, but whatever. Zoom back in. So once again, I know a lot of us today are people that have been in various streams of ours at this point, both hobby stream like this one and our big 40k stream. But I would like to say, if anyone is new, welcome to Neuro-Heretical Wargaming. We are a primarily 40k, but overall wargaming channel that do a few different streams. So like every Wednesday, as today, we do a hobby stream, which is what we're doing right here. Every Sunday, we do a big 40k stream. And then on alternating Saturdays right now, we are doing a side quest Saturday, which where we play a bunch of other games. And we do a Horus Heresy game leading up to the new Horus Heresy edition. So be on the lookout for those. This coming weekend, we will be doing a 40k game. I don't think we've settled on the armies for that. And we will be doing another side quest Saturday, which will be Fallout Wasteland Warfare. So if you are Fallout fans, please come in and check it out. I don't know exactly who's playing, but it should be Enclave versus Cult of the Mothman. So be on the lookout for that. And if you happen to play Thousand Suns, we have our Thousand Suns Codex review out right now. A lot of things to be on the lookout for. Alright. Okay. Actually, these guys are kind of coming together, I feel like. I've been down on them. But they're coming together. Their paint job's a bit dirty, but that's okay. I'm not too concerned about it. Let's see. What else do I want to get done? I could dry brush the hats. It's a possibility. A lot of these just need cleaning up, which my hand is starting to hurt now that I've actually stopped painting for once. Yeah, I'm gonna do Inspires Joy for now, so I'm going to go ahead and move to Retributor Gold right here, or Retributor Armor, sorry. Ooh, that's really big. That's on me for paying attention. I'm gonna move to Retributor Armor and kind of do some of the gold on here. Because hey, I kind of want to break from the red, the white, and the bronze. I guess technically it's Balthazar gold, but it's very bronze gold. Oh shoot, we only got 15 minutes left, so yeah. We'll go ahead and do some stuff with this, and then I will probably be calling it a night. Much to the great disappointment of several, most notably Matt, who every time I say I'm going to call it a night, gives me gruff. Every single time. Just thought about the fact that every time I do this, I feel like I'm under a lot of pressure, and then I was like, oh, I'm on stream, it should be even more pressure, and then now I feel it. Now I feel it. Alright, get this lion rampant done. Actually going really good. See what I mean? Every time I'm like, oh yeah, I have a life. He gives me gruff. I really need to settle on what I want to do for like. It has like this cross like stripe on it. I don't know if I want to bring attention to that or not. See, that's what you get. You give me gruff, I take away your hand flamers. You fool. You have fallen for one of the 7 classic blunders. This gold is actually going on a lot better than I thought it would, and it is proving to be rather zen. I love it. I don't know about you guys, but I am very much all in on zen for painting. I do hope the music is to everyone's liking. It's kind of just the YouTube audio library going through all the ones labeled as quote calm. So I do hope it is at least moderately enjoyable to you. Well, that's because I can't hear it. So see, there's gonna be a few spots that fall off, and it's okay. It is at best a moderate inconvenience, or at worst a moderate inconvenience. Words do in fact have meaning, so we're going to try and use them somewhat correctly. really going to be hard is when I decide to fill this in and write Destroy on it. That's going to drive me absolutely insane. And there's a decent chance I will not be live streaming that, because I don't really want to cry on live stream just yet. I don't think I'm mentally ready for that. I don't want to do a gold trim or not, but do you know I wanted to do this in gold, so I'll go ahead and do that. Hey, beholder. Welcome in. Fortunately, you did very much catch me kind of right at the end here. It's getting to be about 10, which is usually my stopping time, and I promised the wife I would pick up ice cream on the way home, so I definitely can't stay for super late tonight. But hey, you can always be sure to, you can always rewind it and watch it if you really want to. Or of course check us out on Discord, where you can see us there. Alright. I'm pretty happy with that. It's pretty basic, but that's okay. Put that aside. That's slowly coming together. Ice cream is good. Ice cream is very good. It's not good for you. Believe me, I know. But it is really, really good. And I don't know where you guys are all actually from, but out here they have a little gas station that's a little thing called a For Real milkshake, and it's basically like a little milkshake machine in the gas station. You just put it in and it like goes up and makes it how thick you want it. It's so good. I love me a For Real milkshake. I genuinely love me a For Real milkshake. For what is essentially a gas station milkshake, it's actually really good. And this isn't even like an insane gas station like Buc-ee's or anything. Alright, so we got a significant dent in the destroyings today. I want to take a little zoomed in peeksy at them. I don't think more, but as far as I can go, yeah, we got a nice little dent in them. I'll probably end up doing the boots in more of a dark brown. Actually, I do want to try one last thing. I'll be right back. It's going to be more of a test than anything else. But I want to try dry brushing a lighter color onto this and seeing how it comes out. So I did it for him, for this guy, and I liked how his hat kind of came out. So I want to try doing a light brown for the more junior guys. I think I want to try more in Bang. This will probably be the last thing we do tonight, but hey, we're gonna try this together. Not everyone's kind of tuning in for the grand finale, for lack of a better term. And rub, dry brush, and let's go. Are they even showing up? Okay, yeah, you can. It's definitely lighter, which was the goal technically. Okay. I don't know how well it's going to show up for you guys, but it is definitely making it a lot lighter. which is kind of what I wanted. I might do a third, very like maybe a beigeier brown. I don't even know what color I would do. If you guys have any recommendations for a brown that is slightly lighter than Mornfang to do, it's slightly lighter than Mornfang to kind of help bring out just the barest edges on it, that would be much appreciated. Otherwise, it's definitely going to be brighter, but it's not going to be as defined as I think I would kind of like. Alright, I'm just going to do this guy, and then we'll probably close out here. For the night and the week. Well, the week, the hobby stream for this week. As I said, there will be plenty more Neuro-Heretical Wargaming the rest of the week, but featuring both myself and all the other lovely members of this channel. Though sadly, no Tristan. Ooh, Deletion Drab for it. Hello, Go For It Painting. You seem new. I have Deletion Drab somewhere here. Give me a second. You might be onto something that might be able to work. Ah. Distracting myself because I am fairly certain that Go For It Painting. Go For It Painting. Have you been here before? I feel like you haven't. I feel like it's the first time seeing you. There you go, Steel Legion Drab. Oop. You're forgetting I'm like super zoomed in. I'm sorry, guys. Zoom out for a second here. I think that could work. It's a little bit. It's definitely lighter than Mornfang. I'll have to be very careful with it to bring out the edges, but yeah. I definitely like putting the Mornfang on it. That definitely lightens it without going too light. I guess I could have put a wash down first. Unfortunately, Go For It Painting, I do want to say you did kind of catch me right at the end of this particular stream. Sorry. Usually our hobby streams go for about 2.5 hours. 2 hours, 2.5, depending. Is usually my goal, but you know, if this is actually your first time and I'm not just forgetting you, if I am forgetting that you were here before, I deeply apologize. As I was saying earlier, I don't have the best memory in the world, so that will happen occasionally. But yeah, as we kind of get towards the end here, throw out any last minute questions or discussions you guys might want to have. I can talk for a little bit. I just don't want to take too long. Thank you. Go For It Painting. I will try. These paint jobs are like, yeah. I have said it before. I am an aggressively average painter, in my opinion. But, ooh, I can show you guys one cool thing. If you want to see. So I was talking earlier, I think it was mostly just Tristan and me at that point. But I was talking earlier how I originally started painting with enamel paints. This is one of the first miniatures I ever painted. And it is certainly something. Let me tell you. Oh god. I don't think I painted the interior. It's like literally just outside. This is all like enamels. Oh god. I think it's, yeah, it's missing a tire too. I don't even know what happened to that. I don't even know if what I put this together with. It almost certainly was not like plastic glue. That's crazy. Anyway. I think, even though I am an aggressively average painter, going from this to this is not half bad. I would like to say I was like 8 or 9 when I painted this. But back on this shelf, where it can chill. But yeah, if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to ask. As always, do be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you like the show, help the channel grow, as history buffs would say. It absolutely does help the channel. We love seeing you guys. We'd love to see you guys more often. If you are kind of new here, I do this stream every single week. As far as I am able, I will be here every Wednesday. If something comes up, I will certainly let you know. This week we held our first vote for what would be painted. I will probably do that again next week. I don't know if I'll have the Scions on again. I might do an entirely different thing, just so I can kind of work through my collection a little more evenly. But if you guys do like it, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, especially subscribe, and hit that little notification button. That way you can know when we're going live. This is primarily a live channel. Would also like to say, ooh, those oils look good. That's an excellent segue for Tristan here. We do have a Discord, as the bottom of our screen shows, right around here. Yeah, the bottom screen shows we do have a Discord channel. Go ahead, if you haven't been here before, go ahead and hop in and join us. We are posting the minis that I'm painting, that everyone else is painting, every single day. Going back into our live streams, we do a 40K game every single Sunday at noon Mountain Standard Time. If you post into our Mini and Army Show Off channel, you have a decent chance of being in our Mini of the Week, where we can show off your paint to the world. And I think that's cool. And I hope it's cool for you guys as well. In addition to a 40K stream, we do also do side quest Saturdays, about once a month. And these are other miniature war games that we're interested in or want to try out or show off to you guys. This week will be, so just coming Saturday at noon, will be Fallout Wasteland Warfare. That one will be very cool. On Sunday we haven't decided what we're going to do, but a couple weeks after that we will be doing another Horus Heresy. Music stopped again. Going? Oh, okay, just slow down. We'll be doing another Horus Heresy game as we build up towards the release of 3rd edition of Horus Heresy. I think that's most of the housekeeping. Oh, we are starting to do Codex reviews. So Codex Let's Review Codex Thousand Suns just came out on Monday. So if that is something you're interested in, be sure to check it out. I've been trying. We used to post shorts a lot. I've been kind of bad about that. I will try and do better, but I can't promise anything, especially since I'm not actually have full access to my desktop lately. But yeah, that's kind of where we're at. Be sure, we'd love to have you guys along for the ride. And yeah, Matt, I cannot rate your tournament list because I am bad at tournaments. I don't know how to tell you this. I don't even think I have a positive win rate on the channel anymore. To be 100% honest with you. Anyway, if you guys have any last minute questions, feel free to ask. Otherwise, I'm going to kind of pack up my stuff and log off for now and catch you guys next week. I do. You got me there. You got me there, Matt. As always, once again, you got me there. Matt, you make every stream just that little bit more interesting. I want to make you watch me pack up all my stuff, actually, because I know on some level it tortures you. At least that's what I tell myself to justify it. Sneak preview of all the other miniatures that could potentially be on here. Marshall, bunch of demons, random Kriegsmen that will go sit over there. Jump intercessors, incursors. Jump intercessor pack for a sergeant, unprimed jump intercessors, and all these guys can go on here. Honestly, I'm surprised how many of you are actually watching this. Not complaining, just surprised. Because mostly I'm just putting stuff away. I was too lazy to end the stream just yet. It was kind of weird in the stream, to be honest with you. Since all the oil colors you have. I mean, it looks really good. I really like, especially for the kind of like, I don't know, shelly bits. That looks really good. For anyone that doesn't know, Tristan did post what he's been working on tonight onto our Discord, so be sure to check that out. It looks really good. I really like that for that kind of bug, like chitin shell thing, for lack of a better term. I think that looks really good. Like really, really good. There's that good like color for it, like it just came out of the water. What's got on here? Oh, this and this. Once we're going on the brushes, I'll put that there. I will try the Steel Legion drab they suggested, Matt. I don't know how it's going to turn out, but I will do a follow-up. I think I had Xandri Dust too. I know I have Xandri Dust. So I do that for my sides. Pack up all these paints. Yeah, there's Xandri Dust. I'll probably do that. I'll put that on there. Need Wraith Bone. Not going to do any of those yet. I'm going to bring Mephiston Red if I decide to use Mephiston Red. Bring Corn Red for cleanup. Lead Belcher for metals. I think that's all the paints I'm going to pack for now. I also got to decide what color I'm going to do their weapons. I haven't decided yet. But that is a future me problem. But yeah. I think that's probably it for the stream tonight, everyone. Glad you could all come out. Glad you could see this. It means a lot, especially to me personally. This stream, more than anything else on the channel, it's very much my baby. So I do love seeing, we got 60 views, got up to 7 or 8 concurrent viewers. That's always really exciting to see. And I love having you guys come out. Be sure to keep it up. If you aren't already, make sure you subscribe to us. Hit that notification bell so you know when we're going live. You can catch all our streams as they're happening. If not, we do have a fairly big backlog at this point. We've been going since February, so we've built up quite a few streams. Look for us on Sunday. Look for us again on look for us on Saturday. Look for us again on Sunday, and then look for me again this same time next week on Wednesday. It's been lovely having you guys. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye.